Good evening, friends. I'm glad to meet you again. And today evening, I'd like to talk about Vaikasi Visakam, which is celebrated as the birthday of Lord Muruga. Who is Lord Muruga? Lord Muruga is said to be a Tamil Lord. He has got different names: Skanda, Kadamba, Kadirvela, Kartikeya, Arutkumara, Velava. There are many names for Lord Muruga, and he is the famous god within Tamil Nadu. The 11th of June 2014 is celebrated as his birthday in the name of Vaikasi Visakam. And today we will see a bit more about his birth so that we can celebrate his day even more joyfully. Before we go into the details of his birth, we need to understand a bit about the Hindu scriptures and the way how they are written. Basically, we have the 4 Vedas, which praises the gods like Indra, Varuna, Soma, Agni, Vayu. Parallel to that, we have the Upanishads or Vedantas, which is the end of Vedas in a narrative form, which can be easily understood by people. The Upanishads, or the end of Vedas, contain one simple logic: God is the life of our life. We human beings have a life, and God is the life of our life. So, if you want to find God, first you'll have to find your life. When you find your life, then it is possible to find God. That's the essence of the Upanishads. Upanishads are theories. They do not explain how to go or how to reach that bit. That bit is covered under the name Siddhanta. Siddhanta is nothing but the same Vedanta, but converted into practical steps for mankind so that they can achieve oneness with God. Step-by-step methods. There are many Siddhas who have achieved the oneness with God. To name a few, Patanjali, who gave the Yoga Sutras, is a prominent Siddha whose writings are followed throughout the world even today. Tirumoolar, even Jesus Christ is one of the Siddhas. Now, these saints have given us a practical step-by-step method of achieving oneness with God. In parallel to this, we have the Puranas. The Puranas are called ancient tales or old stories, which exist in parallel to the Upanishads and the Siddhantas. These are stories which cover the personalities of different gods in a story format. On one hand, Siddhanta is a practical step to achieve oneness with God. Vedanta is the theory. But these Puranas are stories. So where do they fit together with the practical or theoretical aspect? It's a big question. In our case, for today's topic of discussion on Vaikasi Visakam, which is the Lord of Muruga's birth, we have to refer to Kanda Purana or Skanda Purana, the biggest of all the Puranas. In that Purana, a detailed explanation of how Lord Muruga was born and how he won the demon Surabadma or Taragasura. To cut the big story into short, I'll try to narrate the story as written in Skanda Purana. Lord Shiva went on a honeymoon with Parvati. From that point onwards, Agni somehow managed to steal the essence of Lord Shiva, and he swallowed it, and he couldn't withstand the heat of Shiva's vitality. As per the advice given by other gods, Lord Agni managed to give this vitality to 6 women, and these women became pregnant. The husbands of these women cursed them and changed them into stars or Pleiad, 6 stars. On this conversion, they had to abort their pregnancy, and somehow they managed to put the essence in the river Ganges. The river Ganges stored these vitality under a reed or a bush along its journey. In the due course of time, this energy or this vitality was born. This was born with 6 heads and 6 different bodies, but Parvati made these 6 heads into one body and named him Kartikeya. That's how Lord Muruga was born on earth. Since he was maintained, or let's say taken care by 6 different maidens, he was given the name Kartikeya or Armugan. This is the story related to the birth of Lord Muruga. Now, good, this is a good story. The question is, how is that related to Siddhanta or Vedanta? In what way? This is a story. Yes, it is true. It is from Skanda Purana. But how is it related? Tough question. To analyze this, we can read the Skanda Purana again and again. We do not have any clues. But one thing is for sure, it is related to either Siddhanta or Vedanta. Now, there is a clue that Lord Muruga is the commander-in-chief or the best warrior as described in Bhagavad Gita. Good. One clue. The second clue was Lord Muruga is the Lord of Kundalini. What is Kundalini? Kundalini is the link between Siddhanta and the Puranas in the story of Lord Muruga. To understand Kundalini, we need to learn some other basics. Let's take the example of a seed. The way how a seed germinates. You take a seed, put it on a soil, water it, and observe. The seed has got the potential within it, and if you water it, a radical comes out. Radical is the offshoot or the growth of a seed. When it bursts open, the root comes out from the seed and it goes inside the soil. Once it is strong enough, once the root is strong enough, it lifts the seed on its top. That is, the energy which was inside the seed was transferred to the root. Once the root is strong, or once the root is made strong enough, then the root contains the energy and it makes the other parts of the plant grow. The same logic is applied for a human birth. When a child is formed, the head is formed, the medulla oblongata, the brain, and then the spinal cord is formed, just the same way as in the plants. What is said in Kundalini is the energy is transferred from the brain region through the spinal cord, and most of the energy is stored at the bottom of the spine. This energy, when taken backwards to its source, which is in the head, will take a man to be with God. This is in a nutshell what Kundalini is. Now, Lord Muruga is said to be the Lord of Kundalini. In the Kundalini system, we have 7 chakras. What are chakras? To understand chakras, we need to know a bit about the astral body. We are humans. We have a physical body. We also have a mind. Where is our mind? It's not in the physical body. Where is our intelligence? It's not in the physical body. We feel happy, joyous. We feel sad. Where are these feelings stored? Not in the physical body. So the invisible elements of man, though they are present, they cannot be confirmed within the physical body. They cannot be identified. Such aspects are grouped together to form a body which is called as the astral body. This is called the astral body. So, beyond or behind the physical body, we have an astral body. Behind this astral body is our soul or the causal body. So there are 3 bodies for each individual. These 3 bodies are bound together through a system called chakras. There are 7 chakras, 7 major chakras in a human being. Muladhara, which is located at the base of our spine. Swadhisthana, just below the navel. Manipuraka, above the navel. Anahata, in the region of the heart. Vishuddhi, throat. Ajna, and Sahasrara, which is at the top of our head. These are 7 major chakras. For a normal human being, for any normal, who is normal permanently, or let's say who is absolutely normal, the energy at the time of birth, which we spoke about, is located at the base of the spine, which is in the Muladhara chakra. This is absolutely common for any individual. Coursing this energy upwards through these different chakras up to the Sahasrara chakra at the top of your head is the practice of Kundalini awakening, and various methods are used. Various tricks, tantras are used to achieve that. This is all about Kundalini. So Lord Muruga is the Lord of Kundalini. So where do we go from there? It is related to Siddhanta. With this background, let's try to analyze the birth of Lord Muruga once again from a different perspective. This is my interpretation. It could be wrong. If you feel that this is wrong, I'm sorry and I apologize in advance. And you won't find this anywhere on the internet or in any books. When we said that Lord Shiva and Parvati were in the honeymoon, Lord Agni stole the essence of Lord Shiva. That means the soul is carried by Agni. This means life is possible only in places where there is heat. You cannot have birth to a bacteria or whatever in a freezer. Life is impossible. The birth, the soul is carried by Agni. Birth is possible only when there is heat energy. This heat energy has been deposited on 6 different women. These 6 different women are the chakras. The link between the causal body and the astral body is made there. There are 7 chakras out of the 7 in the case of Muruga. The 6 chakras were made pregnant. That means the 6 chakras have been activated. And these 6 women left the essence before becoming a pole star. Pole star again refers to chakras. They left it in the Ganges. What is Ganges? Ganges is located where? In the northern part of India, yes. But that's not the Ganges which is mentioned in the case of Lord Muruga. Lord Shiva contains or holds the river Ganges in his head, and the Ganges flows forever. In the human body, there is a Ganges too. This Ganges, or the river within a human body, originates in our head. This river is called the cerebrospinal fluid. It is generated in the mid portion of our head. It runs around the brain up to the end of the tailbone through the spinal cord. It has got many purposes, like protecting the brain, running through the spinal cord, and this liquid is very, very powerful. The scientific or the medical science has not analyzed yet the benefits of these liquid. Some benefits are known. If we take this interpretation from Skanda Purana, and even in Puranas, in many other Puranas, the river Ganges is said to be the most powerful one, which can wash away the sins and which can give you good health. Even this river, which is the cerebrospinal fluid, which is secreted in the head of a human being, is very powerful. It cleanses away, purifies the blood. It cleanses away a lot of impurities. Sins, can it wash away the sins? Medical science is yet to prove that. We have not progressed that far yet. Now, the essence is placed in the Ganges. That means the physical birth is taking place. The physical birth of Lord Muruga is taking place by placing the essence in the river Ganges. And the essence runs down through the Ganges and it is stored somewhere near a reed, which is a bush, on the banks of the river Ganges, which means the essence is stored at the tailbone of the spinal cord, which is the Muladhara chakra. This is the equation which we can make between Siddhanta and the Skanda Purana. Now, what is Muladhara chakra? Muladhara chakra is the base where the energy is stored dormant for every individual. And Lord Ganesha is the deity for the Muladhara chakra. That's why he is called as Mula Ganapati. Before you start to do anything, you worship Lord Ganesha for that reason. Because in the Siddhanta tradition, in order to start raising the Kundalini force or energy from the base of your spine up to your head, you start at a place which is the Muladhara again. So Ganesha was worshipped as the first deity. For every individual, the energy is stored there. Now, in the case of Lord Muruga, he managed to take it up to the head. Those are documented in a different name in the Skanda Purana. They are called the 6 abodes of Lord Muruga, which is otherwise called as the Arupadai Veedu. There are 6 different places where Muruga is said, according to the Purana, is said to have stayed during his fight with Shura Padman or Tarakasura. In the Siddhanta tradition, there are 6 places above the Mooladhara before one could reach oneness with God. Let's try to analyze the 6 different places or 6 different abodes of Lord Muruga. The first abode above the Mooladhara chakra is Tirupparamkundram. In this place, Lord Muruga is seen with Devanai, and veil, his weapon, veil, is worshipped there. Who is Devanai? We human beings have 5 different senses. These senses are called as the gods or devas. The head of the devas is Lord Indra. In Tamil, the senses are called Indriyam. The one who controls the senses is Indran. Who controls our senses? Our mind. So, our mind, or otherwise called as Lord Indra, is the controller of our senses. In various Puranas or stories we have seen, when reading about Indra, we see Lord Indra was merrily enjoying the dance of Radhi, and it's all about the mind. For a person who is worldly, seeking pleasures, his mind will be deluded by the worldly pleasures, and that's what is written as Indra was enjoying dance and music, and at that time someone attacked Indra, so he ran and sought the help of the other gods. That means the mind, when attacked, when the mind is disturbed, it refers to God. If not, in a worldly person, the mind always wanted to enjoy the pleasures of the worldly life. So, this is all about Indra. Now, what is Indran's vehicle? In the Hindu philosophy, the vehicle, like Muruga sits on a peacock. That's his vehicle. Lord Indra's vehicle is Airavata. Airavata is an elephant. It's a white color elephant. The 5 senses are represented as the big elephant, but not black, but in a controlled manner. The 5 senses, when they are controlled, they tend to obey the orders of the mind. That is what is represented as a white colored elephant. The mind is huge. It can do powerful things only when it is under control. And the mind can control the senses, and the senses behave properly if they are really under the control of the mind. Now, Airavata is nothing but the five controlled senses of a human being. Why do we talk about Indra and Airavata? This Airavata is called as the Deva Yanai, heavenly elephant. And this is whom Lord Muruga married in Tirupparamkundram. We always visualize Devayanai as Lord Muruga's consort. No. Devayanai represents the controlling of your senses and mind. In the Purana, it is said that Indra donated Devanai to Lord Muruga. So, why is it related to Tirupparamkundram? Tirupparamkundram is the equivalent of Swadhisthana Chakra, which is above the root of the spinal cord and below the navel. Here, if someone has managed to raise the Kundalini up to this level, he will have the powers to control his senses. This is what is represented as Lord Muruga marrying Devanai in Tirupparamkundram. Now, the next abode of Lord Muruga, according to various websites which I have seen, is Tiruchendur. That is wrong. I do not know on what basis the numbering has been made. Numbering of the 6 abodes of Lord Muruga. Maybe it was made based on the importance given to these temples, but in any case, Tiruchendur is definitely not the second abode of Lord Muruga. The second abode of Lord Muruga, if we compare the Siddhanta with the Puranas, is Palani or Tiruavinnankudi. Palani is the place where Muruga left his parents and wanted to stay all alone. Palani in the Siddhanta tradition is referred to as the Manipura Chakra, which is above the navel. This chakra represents self-esteem. This is the self without having to rely on others. Mastery will be gained if one can raise his Kundalini energy up to this chakra and make it stay there. Mastery over attachments, family attachments. So in the case of Skanda Purana, it is said that Lord Muruga left his parents and came to Palani and stayed there. When I say attachments, it is not that you have to hate your parents and brothers and sisters or kids. It is that you have to stay with them, you have to do your duty, but keep it in your mind that they are not permanent. One day you'll have to leave them, or they will leave you. That's the end of the game. The same has been mentioned by Jesus Christ. If you want to be my disciple, you'll have to hate your brothers, sisters, parents, father, mother. No priest talks about this because it is all strange to them. Now, we have covered 3 chakras. Mooladhara Chakra, Swadhisthana Chakra, Manipura Chakra. What comes next is the Anahata Chakra. The Anahata Chakra, or the heart chakra, is represented as the temple in Tirutani. In Tirutani, the idol of Lord Muruga has got a hold in his chest. When I try to do some research on the internet to find out, the explanation has been given as that one demon wanted to destroy Muruga and he threw something and it pierced Lord Muruga. Wrong. Tirutani represents the Anahata Chakra, which is the heart portion of a human being. Just to identify the relationship between the Anahata Chakra and Tirutani, the idol of Lord Muruga has been made with a hole in the chest region. This symbolizes universal love for everyone. In this temple, they do not celebrate the killing of Surabhatman because it represents universal love. Next comes the Vishuddhi Chakra, which is in the throat in the Siddhanta tradition. What is the equivalent abode of Lord Muruga in Skanda Purana? This is Swami Malai. Swami Malai is the place where Lord Muruga taught the meaning of Om to his father Shiva. This is a representation to show that one who has gained mastery of his throat chakra will have the ability to communicate and to educate others. This is the equivalent in Siddhanta tradition. Now, what comes next? Then comes Ajna. This is represented as Pazhamudir Cholai. When one has successfully gained mastery of bringing his Kundalini up to the Ajna, which is the forehead, he will have gained enough wisdom. Pazhamudir Cholai is the place referred to as the place where Lord Muruga teased Avvayar by asking if she wanted a roasted fruit or not. And Avvayar was wondering about the greatness or the wisdom of Lord Muruga in Pazhamudir Cholai. Tiruchendur is the last abode of Lord Muruga. It should be, but not according to what I read. But Tiruchendur, in my understanding, is the last abode of Muruga, which is at the head. Why is it the last abode of Muruga? It's because all other temples or abodes of Lord Muruga are located in hilltops or in caves or hills. But Tiruchendur is the place which is surrounded by the sea. Above the head, there is nothing else. The body, the portion of the body is referred as caves within the body. But above the head, there is nothing else. So, if you look at the Tiruchendur temple, surrounding the temple, you have the sea. This is to represent the Sahasrara Chakra. Moreover, Tiruchendur is the place where Lord Muruga killed Surabhatma. I intend to cover the Sura Samharam in a different video, because this is quite long enough. This video is quite long enough, so I will do that a bit later. One interesting point to notice, the Nari Kinaru. There is a small well in Tiruchendur temple which is called the Nari Kinaru. There is a well which has got muddy water, and within that well there is another small well which contains pure water. This is the representation of our head, where the Ganges, which I mentioned earlier, is generated. The cerebrospinal fluid is generated by a small thingy called the choroid plexus inside, in the middle of the brain. And this choroid plexus generates the pure water, which is saline water. This is circulated around the brain, and as it is circulated, it absorbs, or it removes the impurities from the neighboring parts. And this is the representation of the Tiruchendur's Nari Kinaru. This is why I strongly believe that Tiruchendur is the seventh chakra on the Siddhanta system, or the sixth abode of Lord Muruga. So essentially, who is Muruga? Muruga is a being who was born on earth and who successfully managed to raise his Kundalini across the 6 abodes to reach oneness with God. I think this video is quite long enough, and I sincerely believe that Lord Muruga will bless you all. Thank you.